Hey everyone, I wanted to get on here today to talk a little bit about staying true to yourself in whatever situation you're going through. A lot of people, you know, as they're going through this experience and they're going through these journeys and they're actually traversing these different realities, that they're creating as they're going along, they end up not being true to themselves. Now, there's going to be times where you put on a mask, you put on a facade, to the people around you or the world around you, but you have to stay true to yourself. Because nobody else knows you better than you. Nobody understands you better than you understand yourself. So you have to take that time in order to stay true to yourself. Don't lie to yourself. Be real with yourself. If you can't be real with anybody else out here, you can be real with yourself. Because you know exactly what you're going through. You don't have to worry about whether or not somebody else understands it, because you understand it. You experienced it. You went through it. You had all these things happen to you. That experience is actually ingrained within you. So now you truly have experienced the full spectrum of that experience. A lot of times when we put on a facade for other people and we start, putting that mask and playing the role of whatever they want us to play, or whatever you're trying to put out there and the persona you're trying to put on, it's because you're like, people won't understand where you're coming from. They won't understand exactly what you have going on. They won't understand your perspective, on what's happening. But none of those things are true about yourself. You understand exactly where you're coming from. You understand exactly, what happened and how you dealt with it. Regardless of what you said to somebody else, you understand exactly what was going on. You understand exactly what happened. So who else should you be true with? Is yourself, the one who actually knows what happened. I'm not saying to go out here and be lying and putting on a facade for other people because they don't understand. What I'm saying is you at least have to be true with yourself. If you feel like you've been out here putting on a facade for other people and you weren't understanding exactly where you were coming from with it, now is the time. Now in this present moment is the time, to truly be true with yourself. And, take some time to understand what's going on with yourself. Maybe you might need some different perspectives. Maybe you need some understanding from someone else. Maybe you need to, get a little bit of that perception shift in order to understand more about yourself. And, I also offer these services, and you can check them out on my website. The link's going to be in the bio if you ever need to talk about anything. And I truly mean talk about anything. Because, I'm not going to judge you. You could be fake, you could be real, whatever it is, but I'm not going to judge whatever you have going on, because that's your journey to be going through. But I can offer a different perspective. I can offer a few different perspectives, depending on, what you're trying to go through, what you're actually experiencing. Because there's no one answer to anything that's going on, which is why you have to stay true to yourself. And I'll keep coming back to this. Being true to yourself is what's going to have you to understand more about yourself, understand how you can react and experience this reality. Because if you're not true to yourself, then how else are you going to be able to, react to these different situations if you're not even being true to yourself or how you feel about it, about what you want, about what you're actually feeling and what you're experiencing. If you're not true with yourself on these things, then you're missing out on the different opportunities that could be there for you. Because as long as you're true to yourself and you're doing things for yourself that you understand and that is what you need to be doing, what is what you want to be doing, is what's making you become your truest self, express yourself the way you want to, then that's when those opportunities come about for you. That's when those opportunities open up for you. That's when those opportunities happen to where you be like, oh my gosh, I'm in a whole different reality now. Things have changed so much. I did a complete 180. I was going this way and I completely turned around and I'm going this way now. That just makes most sense. It makes more sense than anything else in this world. And that's because you were able to be true with yourself. And sometimes it can be hard. It can be hard to be true with yourself because you've been putting on this facade. You've been putting on this persona for everybody else that now it's become to a point to where this persona is now being ingrained with you. Because as you speak in the power of your words and this is what you've been putting out, it's now becoming a a false truth. It's becoming a truth because you've told so many people, or you've done so many things along this path, and now that seems to be the truth. But when you look at yourself, you might start feeling guilty. You might start feeling sorry about it. You might start having all these different emotions about what's going on. You have to take that time to understand that, you have to be true with yourself in that moment. Understand where you're coming from and really and truly gain that insight into yourself in order to make these moves to grow. Make these moves to, better yourself. Make those moves to actually become the best you that you can be. In this reality, there's going to be multiple times where being true to yourself is probably going to be harder than anything else. Because some of those hard truths that you have to accept within yourself are the ones that are going to cause the most growth. They're going to cause the most expansion of your consciousness, of your spirit, in order to propel you forward, truly propel you forward to where you want to be. So take this time to really evaluate yourself and look within and see what's going on within yourself. And hey, you might find something out.